morning, everyone. Once again, thanks a lot for joining our Watchlist program. Today is April 29th, and it's end of the month of April. The market is continuing to decline, as you already know, probably. Um, let's have a quick look what's happening in the market, and then we will go to our watch list. And of course, welcome to our Magenta Trade channel. You can subscribe to our channel to get notifications for the future videos, and you can continue watching the different type of videos that we are creating for your stock market awareness and about your trading. Okay, so let's get started. Let me share my screen quickly. As you can see, I'll stop my video as well so that you can see the full screen. So S&P 500 index is currently down by almost 3 percentage points, and NASDAQ is down by more than 400 points at down 3.3%, back to the level of the previous lows. And last time I drew a support line here somewhere. There is a major support line maybe around that level, or let's see, maybe we'll just go a little bit back to get more understanding of the exact support level. Probably, yeah, around this here. This is what we are thinking of a major support line for NASDAQ. Let's go back a little bit more if there is any other point we could find out. So somewhere between this 1200, 430, or somewhere between 12,400, I would say. That's 12,400, I guess. So that line is 12,400. So 12,400 is our support level, major support level here. And currently, the index is at 12,434. So it's very close to that level. Either it can bounce back from there on Monday, or maybe we can see some more decline. And if there is more decline, and then there is no other major support level, I would say, beyond 12,400, probably then it can go up to 11,000 or maybe lower, further lower. So that would be a real catastrophe, I would say. NASDAQ going below somewhere 12,000, that would be a major concern. And the major concern at this moment in the market is the inflation and the rate hike. With the interest rate hike, most probably next month. Next month is just a few weeks away. The Fed has already indicated there would be a rate hike, maybe close to 50 basis points. And if that happens, there could be, the index could go below further below 12,000 as well. So that is our take on today's level. Let's see a similar level for SPX, and that would be somewhere around 4,000, probably 100 or so. Last time I was checking that, I drew a line as well, and 4,100 or maybe 4,000. Let's say 4,050 or something. That would be a major support line once again for SPX, and it's not very far from where it is now, 4,156. That's already a level of concern, but I would say there is a possibility that 4,060 is a support level where maybe the index can bounce back from there. And if not, if the things are going the way they are, if the way the major stocks are falling in terms of valuation, there is quite a possibility that it can dip further. and if it dips further, then there is the next support level, that a major support level that I can see is at 3,600. That is somewhere around here. Well, there could be somewhere possibility between here 3,700, or maybe 3,800 as well. But the major one I see is 3,600, beyond 4,060. So that would be almost another 10 percentage point dip from the current levels. In terms of Dow, again, today the market is down by 740 points. Day before yesterday, it dipped more than almost 1,000 points, and today again it's 740 points. Yesterday, it went up by around 600, 700 points. So that was a major relief. But today again, on the back of results of major companies like Apple and Amazon, the market is really down. So let's look at those earnings results and what's happening around the market. Quickly, Amazon results were very disappointing on the not only from the point of view of revenue and the earnings per share. The company reported first quarter March 2022 earnings of $4.24 per share on a revenue of $116 billion, whereas the expectation was somewhere between $8.7 per share. Well, the major negative or major downside that is reported is, or the major loss that was reported in the report, was around $7.6 billion loss for the Rivian acquisition, or you can say in the revaluation of holdings in Rivian Technologies, which is the electric vehicle venture for Amazon, and that write-off is around $7.6 billion. So that's a major concern. Other than that, Amazon doesn't look well in terms of forecasting of 2022 numbers. So let's quickly have a look more on the details. The company said it expects second quarter revenue of $116 billion to $121 billion. In terms of in the first quarter, revenue grew 7.3% on a year-on-year basis, and with a back of almost 6%, you can say inflation in the that's been ongoing as of now, as reported I think yesterday, 6% inflation. These numbers, or this growth of 7.7% is very nominal. And of course, the market did not take it well. The stock is currently down by almost 15% point. Let me quickly go to that. So currently it is down by 15.1%, below 2,500 level, down by $434. So that's a very major drop, and probably this kind of drop has not happened in last 15-16 years, maybe more than that. So that's a major drop for Amazon, even though you might recall that the company recently announced a split of shares. So even that particular announcement is not able to enthuse the investors, or giving any value to the investors, so to say, and they are really very negative in terms of the outlook. Okay, the another major concern is the free cash flow, which is decreased to an outflow of $18.6 billion for the trailing 12 months, compared to an inflow of $26.4 billion in the prior 12 months ending 31st of March 2021. Quickly, in terms of other operating income, decreased to $3.7 billion in the first quarter compared with $8.9 billion in the first quarter of 2021. Net loss was $3.8 billion in the first quarter, or $7.56 per diluted share, compared with a net income of $8.1 billion or $15.79 per diluted share in the first quarter of 2021. The Amazon CEO Andy Jassy mentioned the pandemic and subsequent war in Ukraine have brought unusual growth and challenges, with AWS growing 34% annually over the last 2 years and 37% year on year in the first quarter. AWS has been the integral in helping companies weather the pandemic and move more of their workloads into the cloud. So that is a major business that is growing now for Amazon. AWS, in terms of other businesses, they are not really, growing in that sense. Our consumer business has grown 23% annually over the past 2 years, with extraordinary growth in 2020 of 39% year on year. In terms of other announcements, the company announced a number of, basically repeated a number of recent announcements, like say the announcement for the Prime members. They also announced that the Prime Day will happen in July in over 20 countries. The renaming of the IMDb service and making it as a free service. It would now be called Freevee. There are other new businesses launched, Punchin, an industry-first procurement tool. And there are, of course, the closure of the acquisition of MGM, and these MGM employees have now joined Prime Video and Amazon Studios. Okay, so that's a major announcement from Amazon. Other than that, the other results that were announced yesterday was Apple. If you'd like to know more about these announcements, you can visit our social media where we have announced the detail of the results. Let's look at the Apple results now, and I'll go back to the chart for Apple. In general, the Apple results were positive, I would say. But of course, the outlook in terms of the forecast of 2022, there are severe challenges for that company as well. The earnings beat the expectations. Earnings per share or $1.52, which is more than $1.42 as was expected. And the revenue the reported revenue is $97.3 billion and better than the expectation of $94 billion. In terms of a year-on-year basis, revenue grew 8.6%, and the company posted a March quarter revenue of $97.3 billion, up 9% year over year, and quarterly earnings per diluted share of $1.52. Tim Cook, the Apple's CEO, mentioned that this quarter's record results are a testament to Apple's relentless focus on innovation and our ability to create the best products and services in the world. However, in terms of challenges, the company mentioned there could be an impact of nearly $8 billion in 2022 due to supply chain related challenges mainly in China. In terms of bifurcation of products and sales, products and services, the company reported in the quarter ended, first quarter ended March 2022, the net product sales was $77 billion, whereas the services were $19.8 billion. Net income was $25 billion, and earnings per share we have already mentioned. So those are the highlights, some of the highlights of the results from Apple. Let's look at some other stories as of today. VeriSign, another company that reported results. Let's quickly have a look. VeriSign. Again, the company missed the expectations, and the first quarter earnings of $1.43 per share on revenue of $346.9 million. The earnings were expected around that level, $1.40 per share, and the revenue was expected around $342.8 million for the first quarter. Overall, the revenue grew 7.2% year-on-year basis. However, the investors were not enthused by the outlook that was provided for the 2022 year. In the first quarter, VeriSign reported a net income of $158 million, and that is compared to $150 million net income in the first quarter of 2021. The operating margin was 64.8%. Yeah, so that's more or less the results of VeriSign. But as you can see, the investors, the investors were not, really on board with the progress of the results, and the shares are currently down by almost 14% now, down to $179, as you can see, and it has breached all the support levels there. You can probably go back to almost more than a year now. Here it is 12th of March 2021. The stock has gone back to that level or beyond that. So the last time, it was almost at this level. So that is on 7th of April 2020. So when the pandemic hit. So after the pandemic hit, the stock went to the low of 148. But then after that, it started recovery, and it's at the level of 7th of April or somewhere around that, first week of April. That is 2 years back. So currently the stock is at that level, as you can see. Okay, some other numbers quickly. Honeywell. Honeywell was positive today. Let's quickly have a look. Honeywell is up by 2.7% on the back of strong results. I'd say first quarter March 22 earnings of $1.91 per share. The estimate was around $1.85 per share. The revenue was $8.4 billion. However, compared to 2021, it fell by 0.9%. In terms of 2022, the company is expecting earnings of $8.50 to $8.80 per share on revenue of $35.5 billion to $36.4 billion. So the currently stock is up by 2.7%. The next company, Mohawk Industries. MHK. The Mohawk Industries stock is up by more than 9%. It went up to $160 almost today. The highest was 159 today, and currently it's up by 9 percentage points. Looking at the results, where the expectation was around $2.89 per share for the company. The company reported $3.78 per share for the first quarter 2022. The revenue was $3 billion, and revenue grew 13% on year-on-year basis. In the second quarter, the company is expecting earnings per share of between $4.25 to $4.35. So that's a very positive for the company. Let's go back here, and the today's share price has beat all the can say 20 EMA and 50 EMA levels, exponential moving average levels. So it's in a very positive territory, I would say. Let's see, what happens on Monday when the market reopens. In terms of the next stock, ABY. So another company that reported the results, the stock is down by 8.22%. ABY reported earnings of around $3.16 per share, even though it was in line with the expectation. However, the revenue was $13.54 billion compared with the expectation of $13.66 billion. Charter Communications, that was on our watch list. You can see the stock is down by 6.6%, again on the back of earnings. It reported earnings per share of $5.21 per share, while as the expectation was around $5.25 per share. Revenue was $13.2 billion. So Charter Communication is again down by 6.6%, and if you look at the price that it touched to the previous low of similarly around April 2020. So that's they are touching, these stocks are touching the price level of April 2020. So 2 years worth of gain has been evaporated. So the whole of it has gone to almost pre-pandemic level. Whereas the pre-pandemic high was even actually higher, it's 550 or something, but it has gone to pre-pandemic levels of that. Okay, the other one probably mentionable is Intel. Intel stock is currently down by 6.5%. and the company issued weaker than expected guidance. Let's quickly get the numbers. So the earnings per share was 87 cents per share on revenue of $18.4 billion, whereas the expectation was 80 cents per share in terms of earnings per share. Revenue fell by 6.7% compared to the same quarter a year ago. In terms of second quarter, the company is now expecting 70 cents per share on a revenue of $18 billion. So there is no positive gain in the next quarter as per the company's expectation. Obviously, the supply chain is a major concern. The next company probably we could discuss is Colgate-Palmolive. Once again, the results were not as expected. So Colgate-Palmolive is again down by 4.5% as of now. So in terms of earnings, in the first quarter 2022, the company announced 74 cents per share on revenue of $4.4 billion. Revenue grew only 1.3% on a year-on-year basis. Excuse me. In terms of 2022 earnings, the company is expecting earnings per share of $3.05, and revenue is expected around between $17.6 billion to $18.12 billion in 2022. Okay, another company that announced the earnings was Roku. The stock is positive, 2.64%. At one point of time, it gained up to 5%. The company posted a revenue of $733 million, whereas the expectation was somewhere around $718 million. The next one is Tesla. Let's first have a look at Tesla. Tesla is almost flat today. But there is a news that Elon Musk, CEO Elon Musk, has sold roughly $8.4 billion worth of Tesla stock in order to make himself for the acquisition of Twitter. In order to facilitate that acquisition, he has sold more than $8 billion worth of stock. Probably he has to do a little bit more. So those are some of the news items. Let's look at our overall watch list. Once again, I will start with Netflix, which is down by another 3.6%. So it has gone back to the previous level of below 200. Earlier, it touched a low of 188 or something. So the 52-week low was 185.60. That was just day before yesterday. So today it has gone to the low of 191.74. Apple, we already discussed, stock is down by 2.9%. ADI is down by 3.2%. Berkshire is down by 2.6% based on, I think, the loss on Apple, because they have got a major stake in Apple as well. Visa is also down by 2.8%. Other financials, JP Morgan is down by 2.7%. MasterCard is also down by 3.4%. And Bank of America is down by 2.8%. Wells Fargo, another constituent of Berkshire, is down by 3%. Morgan Stanley down by 2.7%, and Blackstone is down by almost 5%. Charles Schwab is down by 3.3%, and Amex is down by 3.1%, whereas Citigroup is down by 3.2%. So all these financials companies are, moving in tandem with a loss of around 3%. Qualcomm is down by 4.8%, whereas AMD is down by 3.7%. Another technology spearhead, IBM, is down by 2.1%. Applied Materials is down by 3%. Micron Technology is down by 2.1%. Fortinet is down by 5.4%. DocuSign is down by 4%, whereas Salesforce is down by 4.5%. Amazon, we already discussed. Google is also down by 3%. Google is another company where the split has been announced 1:20. So even that split announcement is not, very cheered by the market as of now. The other company that announced the split some time back was Shopify. Let's have a look at what's happening on Shopify. That company is also today down by 2.4%. So there have been major losses for all these companies, even though the split of stock was announced. Shopify announcement for their earnings would be on 5th of May. So that again, that we can look forward to something. Oracle is down by 2.86%, another my favorite share, and SAP is down by Oracle is down by 2.8%, SAP is down by 1.3%. Other notables, I would say, in our watch list is DHI is down by 3.8% at a $70 level. Chiwi is down by almost 10%. Not sure whether there is any major news on Chiwi. Domino's is down by 3.4% and Comcast is down by 3.8%. So most of these stocks are in deep bear territory now, and they are all below 50 moving average, 20 moving average, and all the short-term indicators probably point to a very, very weak situation. Facebook yesterday was up by 15%. Today it is down by 1.3%. Okay, so that's about it. Thanks a lot for joining in today. Please keep watching our YouTube news channel and follow us on our social media handles, Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And you can also visit our website, magentatrade.com. If you'd like to know more about our option trading strategies, please go through our website. We are starting our new batch for our option trading masterclass. And if you'd like to join there, you can also email to us at info@magentatrade.com. Thanks a lot, and have a great day ahead. Thanks a lot.